Talking about relationships. Keep going on. Look around the scene. Casino. We play out and me Israel. They all got something to say. Yo, what up, world? I got something to say. This is TS Declares, spitting that truth. The question is, can you handle it? We spitting that GOAL, that gospel on another level. You say you can handle it? Okay. Let's talk about it. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, world? What's going on, y'all? We out here and we up here, and this is Relationship Wednesday. And we got a special guest here today, back again for round number 2. My brother, Pastor Eric G. Andrews. Turn your mic on, bro. Your mic.
What's
Pastor
good? What's
Eric
good?
G. Andrews. My brother, Eric Andrews. What's
Yeah.
up? GG
What's
Al Capone. Amore Hessa. Whatever you want to know. He here. So, shout out to everybody, all my kings, all my sons, and everywhere else. Shout out to Uncle Jeffrey. Shout out to my podcast crush, Shira Renee. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Lady Andrews and everybody over there in PA, and my favorite 4-year-old niece, Ari and Ashley and Tito Bondo, and all y'all out there in PA, man. We loving y'all and thanking y'all for letting us come into your house today. Man, listen, I done had some craziness going on. Can you see my face? Is my face too dark?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
It's too dark. Okay. So let's see how we gonna do this. Bring this. Is that better? Or is it still too dark?
It's still too dark.
Still too dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, and while you answering that question, I'm gonna be taking care of it not being too dark. All right, listen. I done had some issues with some crazy church folk this week. And it's in the area of relationships and pastors and leadership in the church and how we should date and what we should be doing and how we should be doing this. It's amazing who the people who are not called the pastor can give the most advice to the pastor. It's amazing how people who have never been married can give all the advice to the married people. It's amazing for people that have never sewn a button on a shirt can tell you how to make a shirt. It's amazing. So my questions today are going to be, they're going to be general, but there's going to be times I'm going to go a little left because I got to send a message to a couple of people, and I'm going to do it the right way. But my first question to you is, while you can answer that while I'm fixing this lighting, how do you feel, because we pastors, a pastor, you're a married man, but before you was married, you dated. How do you feel a pastor should date?
How do I feel a pastor should date?
Yes.
With grace. And that seems like it sounds like a church answer, but honestly, with grace, and what I mean by that, there should always be a point of humility. How both parties carry themselves in the eyes of people and the people. because if you're sending a certain kind of message, it could be contrary to that comes from the pulpit. So we have to make sure that everything remains in line. And some pastors choose to date in secrecy, and some pastors choose to date like nowadays more out loud. But however you do it, I think it needs to be done with grace and poise and respect to that is being taught across the pulpit, because you don't want to cancel out what you're preaching because of what people are seeing. Now, people are going to judge because they always got their mouth open to say something, but at the end of the day, you should walk circumspectly in the eyes of people at all times when it comes down to dating male to female.
But the stigma is, and you've seen it. We really not watch this. This is what people think. It might be far fetched. It might not even be true. But this is what's supposed to happen. We're supposed to be called of God. Rugatum being. Oop, you a pastor. Now you're at the altar. You don't get to date. You don't get to have fun. You don't get to go out. You don't get to go to dinner. You can't do nothing because you are a pastor. There's nothing you can do. You go from being a pastor to the altar. And now you married. And even with that, we going to monitor you and your wife in the bed, what y'all doing, how y'all doing it, when y'all doing it. And this is the way that the world is treating pastors. At the end of the day, I'm not saying we get to run around and be freaks and all that like everybody else. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't tell me that in the dating phase, I can't take the person I'm interested in to a movie, or because I'm a pastor, we can't go see a concert. I mean, at the end of the day, does that make my life? Am I going to hell? Now, we know the actions that send us to hell, but you want me in quiet spaces with a female I'm interested in, but you expect me to jump in the volcano and not get burned. I would rather be out at a restaurant. I would rather be out at a movie. That way, that shun the very appearance of evil. And not only that, that's for me. That may be for her. There may be a sexual attraction there that we need to keep at bay until we are espoused and married. That's the way it's supposed to be. But you can't tell me you can't go out. You can't do stuff. We're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. But then the same people going to say, when I get married and I have sex, I'm going to be speaking in tongues. No, that don't go together, dog. That don't go together. That don't go together. That does not. One is spiritual, one is natural. All right, I'm going to go to the second question. They saying this, that divorce leaders or people that separated from their wife need to be sat down. I'm trying to ask you, this is where I start boiling at. What the heck does my personal life, if it's not in shambles or in scandal, has anything to do with the call of God on my life? If my wife chose to walk away, if I chose to walk away, the call of God does not stop. Why do I have to be sat down because of that? What do you think about that? That's just what they said.
Well, I'll pull on some facts for you. Years ago, when we were part of a ministry, excuse me, and the pastor and the wife did not remain together. That man did not sit down. That man continued to preach.
Right.
And whether you say it was just me because I thought he was good preaching, it seemed like his anointing was different. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't know that everybody is made for marriage. I know that we are trained in our mindset that that's what we're supposed to do, and then some people get in it and realize I can't do this. I myself was one person that always looked at myself that I never felt like I was a relationship person because I felt like I was inwardly I was really selfish and territorial, and I didn't think that I would be able to share space. I still struggle with that. I ain't even gonna lie about it. But at the end of the day, I had to come to grips to realize that I'm not the only person in the world. And being that I'm not the only person in the world, that means the person that I decided to be with, I got to make room for her in my life. Everybody's not wired that way. Some people are just selfish, and you get two selfish people together, and it just don't work.
Right.
They try to put. I've seen when leadership have tried to work it where they stay together in the eyes of the people, so it doesn't look shameful. But at home, you're miserable.
Right. Right.
So are you wrong for making that choice? Only God can really judge that. That's it.
Right.
That's where I put my period at with that. But as far as him being sat down, should I be sat down if I make a choice? Should my personal life affect? Most people judge it from the perspective of because you divorce somebody, you're going to spread the spirit of divorce throughout the congregation. So you need to sit down. I mean, we spiritualize everything, and we come up with many different ideas and concepts to put across to the people to make them think in a certain direction. So they look at leadership in a certain way to make them feel that, yeah, maybe I should sit down. Anything that I've done wrong, that's already been talked to with the Father before it comes out into the public. And if He forgave me, even for the decision that we've made, and we've both come to grips that we want to check out of this, that still remains for Him to deal with me concerning upon my demise here on earth. So, regardless of that, I still have a charge to keep and a God to glorify. Why should I sit down?
Watch this though, but the same people that's all in your business, right? All in your business, worrying about divorce spreading throughout the church. First of all, I didn't divorce anybody in the church. None of y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If me and my wife marriage has dissolved, that's something at home. If y'all worrying about that, then come to my house and pay all my bills then.
Right.
It's the same thing. Get out of my business and get out of God's business. Because even with the dissolvement, you don't know about the boomerang effect.
Right.
Where it can come back around again.
Right.
And then the scripture declares that if she or he is to marry again, they got to marry that same person. So you don't get them. It ain't like you moved on. And it ain't, I'm going to be transparent. It ain't like I wanted to be divorced.
Right.
It ain't like I wanted Shira to leave.
Right.
I didn't. Me and her, we was at a space with each other that we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
We talked about it. What you think we should do? And we both decided we probably made the wrong decision because she said, when I said that you never wanted to walk out the door in the conversation, she was like, true. And I was like, dang, I didn't know that. Because like what you talked about, being selfish, worrying about me, I'm being sick, I don't care, I'm going to die anyway.
Right.
I ain't even worried about not valuing who I'm with. And all the things that she's doing for me and all the places she's taking me. Every time I needed to go to the hospital, even though she couldn't stay, she was the one that was always there. Always taking care of everything. I didn't realize until she was gone.
Right.
Wow, what the heck? Even with the ministry.
Right.
Like then she had a box with all the paperwork in it. Me and Najee could not figure that box out because she was so organized. But there's so many other things. You know what I'm saying? In the space. That's why I haven't let go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to until somebody fat starts singing. I'm holding on to God's unchanging hands. while trying to grab on the husband. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
At the same time. So my thing is, you know, you said I should be sat down. Okay, same lady that said it. You just got caught Sunday stealing an offering. You ain't supposed to be sat down, and this ain't the first time you stole out the offering. I wish I knew her name because I would say it right now. You stole my preacher's offering when I was a guest preacher at your church. And you gonna talk about because a minister in their church, him and his wife ain't together no more. He need to be sat down. Why? That's personal. That ain't got nothing to do with this ministry. Oh, man, you know what? One of the most easy ways for a marriage or any relationship to end is allow outside parties in. To that you say what? Because before you say what you got to say, I feel like if your friends ain't married, I don't think married women should hang out with single women. Because as soon as you get in that, oh boy, he getting on my nerves mode, they're going to say, leave him. Don't care. I don't care. I'll walk away. Yeah, you would because you ain't married. And that's the reason why you ain't married. You would walk away. But third parties, and guess what? Third parties don't always mean other people. The third party could be you.
Yeah.
And I learned that the third party was me.
Yeah.
I killed it.
Excuse me.
I'm not saying Shira ain't do nothing. That ain't for me to say. That's for her to say.
Right.
God. But far as me, because I tried, Pastor, I tried. I said to God, I did to Adam. It was her. It was the woman you gave me. And God was doing like this. You. What did you do? How did you handle it? Even if she did A, B, and Z, I made you the head. How did you handle it? If you would have handled it right, she might still be here. Ouch.
Yeah.
You know? So what do you think about outside parties? And how do you handle that? It could be family. It could be anybody.
Yeah, you see, I look at marriage different than I look at boyfriend and girlfriend. I look at marriage different than I look at as spouse. I look at marriage different than I look at you just liking somebody and you committing to somebody that ain't committed to you. But in relationship with all the female relationships I've been in, I have always made the mistake of listening to people's opinions. And it was the worst thing I will say I could have done because those females I ain't with no more. Those are the facts. But as I got older, I started realizing that if I'm going to keep a relationship, the main thing is to keep people out of it. Shutting down people's opinions of what they think I should have had or my choice should have been, and what my choice is. Why did he choose this and why did he do that? Because once they may not ever directly say it to you, but you hear voices and conversations, and those are outside influences that start charging your mind. Even when you're moving forward and letting things go, those are outside seeds that can come in. And whether we realize it or not, the words that we speak are spirit and life. And those things travel. When we speak those things, because of who's in us, these things begin to manifest. They begin to affect. And then this is where we start seeing the divorce rate going up, because we got people in other people's business putting their mouth on it. And even that, back to what your question was about sitting down, you really don't know the depth of what the issue is or was. All you can do is offer an opinion, and your opinion really does not even matter. Because at the end of the day, the choice is always going to be between those two parties. And in order for a relationship to work and to function, and this is just me being honest and upfront. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was sharing this with Bishop Samuels the other day, and I talked to Dre about it, and I told her, I said, when we first got married, I wasn't trying. I wasn't. And I wasn't trying not because I didn't love her or not because I didn't care. I just wasn't trying. And then I had to realize the same blame I was putting on her. Bruh, you are 50% of the issue. What you gonna do with your half? When I realized that about myself and I started trying, our relationship became tighter. Even so much so now is we've got to the place we won't allow anybody in between her and I. What they say to you, what they say to me. So we sit down and we make sure that both parties understand this is what the outside is saying. They're not in here with us, but this is what the outside is saying. How do we deal with this? You can't move forward. It's a team effort. We keep basing it on love. Love is not what's going. I'm gonna tell you that it ain't gonna keep a marriage together. That's not enough, because you can love somebody and still not be with them.
It's only one of the ingredients.
Only one of them. It's not the major thing.
It's really not, because like you said, I don't gotta be with you. I don't even gotta see you to love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if Shira moved to Alaska and I don't never see her, that don't mean I don't still love her.
Right.
I mean, right. So love is not. This love will keep us together. I don't know about all that.
Nope.
Because if that be the case, I wouldn't be living here. She would be. If it was that, because that never left.
Right.
Now, my showing of it, like you said, I wasn't trying. There's a mentality in the man when we get married.
Yeah.
That we got to address. And we don't even know we do it. We take ownership right away. I got it. I'm good. We're going to stay right here. I ain't got to try. She said, yes, we here. We live together as long as I pay the bills or whatever. You know. And we don't understand that it's an everyday process. If your relationship with God, which it should be the easiest relationship in the world, because He has everything that we need.
Yeah.
If it's a daily thing, what the heck you think your marriage is?
Every day.
Every day, because there gonna be days when she can't stand you.
Oh yeah.
And you have to. Your 50% has to create a safe space for her to voice that without it turning into an argument.
Yeah.
And that takes discipline, because they can say some things that'll take you to a place of disrespect. I love y'all black women, but y'all different. Y'all different than any other race. Y'all can say some things, but that don't mean nothing. We still got to be mature enough. We still got to have enough tenacity to say, you know what? All right, you felt that way. That's not what I meant. And I apologize that you felt that way, but this is what I meant. And then we walk away. Too busy. No, you know those little chihuahuas?
Yeah.
Outside barking at the pit bulls. They know that pit bull get a hold of that chihuahuas over there. Yo, shut up. Let's talk about it. Let's make the understanding is that you can't do nothing with this pit bull. And just like in marriage, if you don't create a safe space for your wife to be able to voice her opinion and let her know she has a voice, that's when she's going to start talking to other parties.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about cheating. I'm talking about her girlfriend, maybe her mama, maybe somebody else. And believe me, the conversations ain't going to be nice.
Not in your favor.
No, but like you said, you and Drea made what I call a castle. Nobody can get in there.
Right.
So there's no reason for y'all two to ever argue, because That whatever y'all got going on is between y'all.
Yeah.
Literally between y'all. It ain't no, I heard or I saw. No. Dre, you did that. Eric, you did this. We like this, then we should be able to solve that easy.
Right.
But when you like this, and you in a marriage and you seeing 30 people in there, y'all can't even get to each other. And by the time you get to each other, you're going to be looking at each other different because of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
But then guess what? At the end of the day, you end up falling back in love with that same person. And them people that gave you that advice ain't nowhere to be found.
Nowhere.
And most of them ain't got no man, ain't got no girl, and they say misery loves company.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is a good one right here. If someone has been with somebody, and dating them for a long time without marriage being the end goal, is their dating in vain? I say yes. If they're gonna be together 5 or 6 years, ain't no end goal, and marriage is not the end goal. That's just a free way to just be in fornication. Because they ain't gonna tell me y'all ain't rubbed in 5 years. You're not gonna tell me that. There's no way. So, if you don't have an end goal, and I don't think you should be in a committed relationship without marriage being the end goal. That's just me. In a serious relationship, not just a boyfriend, any boyfriend, girlfriend, but people that are because I know somebody, and you look at my face, you know somebody, and they dating, and I'm trying to figure out where's this going, like how long this gonna go, because I already know you a dude, bro. You gonna want to rub. You gonna want, Pastor. Just think about my podcast. I don't care. See, this is why there's a lot of rubbing and stuff going on in the kingdom, because we won't talk about it. You're gonna want to as a man, and even females, they're gonna want to. So why play with it? The Bible says better to marry than to burn. Stop playing around with it. I don't want to be around you alone, and you my wife, and we can't. And I ain't just talking about sex.
Right.
I mean, because we shouldn't be kissing and doing all that neither, because that's going to lead to that.
Right.
So what is the end goal if we're going to date for 2 years, 3 years? What are we doing? If we're going to be exclusive, if the end goal ain't marriage, is there dating in vain?
I mean, when you put it to me like that, I would say, yeah, in a sense, yeah. But on the other hand, if they both don't want it and that's what they want to do, then
they're going to hell. They're going to hell because they can't do the marriage things and not be married.
Yeah.
Cousin Maria was together 25 years. That man gave her 3 kids and never one time asked her to marry him. What was all that? 2.5 decades? A boyfriend and girlfriend? Now he dead. She done moved on with her life. That's 25 years wasted if you ask me. Because they didn't even reach a goal. What was the purpose? They should have just been dating and not been committed. Is the difference. Because you can date 4 or 5 people at once. Once you get, no, I'm just saying, like, if that's the way it is. You're on a dating scene. If I'm on a dating scene, I can go out and meet somebody this week, 2 weeks from now, I can have another blind date. I'm single. You can do that. That's society. You know what I'm saying? But if you're committed, if you're in a committed relationship, it's you and that one person. And you should, it should be and geared towards, if you're going to do a commitment and be serious, the end goal should be marriage. That's just my opinion. Or it's in vain because we're going to start doing married people stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And you're putting yourself in your relationship with the Most High in jeopardy. Yeah.
Not for no girlfriend.
No.
We did it. We've done it.
Yeah.
We've done it, and it ain't turned out good.
No, never did. Never did. Never did.
All right, there's a debate going on to where the question is marriage. Now you can chime in for real. A ministry or a covenant?
Well, let's look at it. When you say it's a ministry, what do you mean by that?
Everybody that say they married, it's the ministry. I got a church, and me and my wife gonna work as a team and blow the devil up type ministry because that's your wife. No, I disagree with that because the scripture declares that a wife care for how she might please her husband. Now, them coming together is a covenant. It can be a ministry. It can turn into that, but it's not originally, according to the scriptures. She's supposed to be focused on you as her husband.
Right.
So I'm going by the word. So what do you think?
I mean, that's the reason why I asked you, what did you mean by that? Because when you said, is marriage a ministry? I would say to an extent it is, but that's between the partners because ministry just simply means service. So you're there to serve each other.
Okay.
But if you're meaning from like the perspective of
outwardly, everybody.
Just because I got married now, I go and I got a co-pastor. I wouldn't.
Right.
Because I believe that our gifts that he gives to us are uniquely given to us specifically. Our purposes and our tasks are given to us specifically. And the thing that we've knocked out of the church is that we feel that as husband and wife, that ministry is her ministry as well as yours. It kind of almost gives a business sense and not a spiritual sense. So it's a dangerous territory. Now there may be some that God may call together in union, as far as that is concerned. But I do believe that if there is the husband and wife, that the wife is there as the helpmate. That's what the scripture described her as in the beginning, as the helpmate. That don't mean that she won't have times to teach. That won't mean that won't mean they won't partner in the ministry together to grow it. But
that's a choice between that husband and that wife.
And that wife, yeah.
We try to force it to be spiritual. Show me in the Bible where it is. Because everything that they say about marriage is according to the natural.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's our choice to put our wives in ministry or to work ministry together. But it ain't no automatic because it's not. I'm just saying it's not spiritual.
No.
It's a choice that we made, and it's going to segue to the next question. It's a choice that we made that God honored because we're doing it the right way. It does not mean that all of a sudden that you and Lady Andrews have now become this super couple and a super pastor couple. And because you're a pastor and she's the first lady, y'all going to float around PA and just lay hands on the whole state because you guys are a ministry. So, but then when you come home and ain't nothing to eat, you gonna be spiritual then?
Nope, not gonna be spiritual at all.
And I don't know what Drea likes for you to do. She come home or whatever, and you ain't doing that. You think she gonna speak in tongues? No. So what are y'all talking about? This thing is natural, and God honors it because we're doing it. It's dope because it is spiritual through our obedience by doing it the right way.
Yeah.
But the connection is a covenant that God put his seal on it.
Right.
It didn't say that he honors Christian marriage. It didn't say that. He honors all marriage. Period. So if that being the case, you're gonna tell me that Jay-Z and Beyonce is a spiritual, they spiritual giants now because they together? Come on now. God honored it because it was a marriage. They doing them the right way. Now he might not honor their lifestyle, but the fact that they came together in a covenant that falls under the umbrella of God honoring marriage. Period. So, do you I got 4 more questions after this. Do you believe in that term, the one? I'm gonna twist you up on this one.
The one what?
She the one. I knew she was the one. Oh, the Lord sent it to me. No, he did not. The Bible said he that findeth. Stop lying. Bro, there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts with the scripture, bro. Stop it. Look, okay. Do you believe that everything that God does is perfect?
Well, only perfection can come from that which is perfect.
Okay. So if God strategically carved out this woman for you, then everything about your relationship would have been perfect. So guess what, Pastor? Then that means that Rashida is the one, because that's your first baby. It would have been perfect. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I don't believe in the one. It's the one I choose. Right. And if it lines up, God honors that. It ain't no, the one. I saw it in a dream. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. Come on, bro. I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe in that. Because if that be the case, then sure, then Courtney is the one then.
Right.
Because it would have been perfect. That would have been, if Chris, they said the babies are supposed to be here, right? So in the will of God is perfect. So if Ashley was supposed to be here, she's supposed to be here, it's perfect, then Rashida is supposed to be the one. That's how you know it's not, the one does not exist in the terms of the world.
Yeah, those are worldly terms that we have coined. And that's part of the issue when it comes down to our relationships and our growth in ministry and with God, is because we live too much like the world. Mm-hmm. They have so much influence on how we live, how we think, and how we feel, and we still try to spiritualize what we do. Even just videos that I've seen, and some friends have asked me about it at work, and different gospel celebrities doing things like, is that the church? How it goes back to what we talked about the other day. How can I be comfortable with that representing me?
Right.
No, and I'm not saying that I'm 1000% perfect, because I'm not.
No.
I'm still striving to be.
No.
But at the end of the day, there is still, I understand, that fight within my flesh that tries to keep me going astray. Forgive me, I'm sorry, your niece is in here doing, I'm really bummed. Okay. Excuse me for a moment. Give me. Go back over there and close it. Go outside and close the door. I'm sorry. We had bought her this ball, and she went and busted and squeezing it inside out on my bed, and I started having conniptions within myself trying to talk. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm back though. I'm back. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, this is a good one. How do you balance personal growth within a committed relationship? Like, for instance, let's say your wife wanted to go back to school and do something, and she get a degree, and you start to see, it was an episode of My Wife and Kids, which Jay went back to school, and Mike saying it's going to take away from the household. How do you balance somebody's personal growth? Because you want your wife to keep ascending and always be ascending, doing something that's good, not just to make you happy, but to make herself happy as
You know,
well. You know, how do you balance the personal growth within the, like if you doing something, even in ministry, how do you not let that consume you to the point where you kind of almost forget what's going on at home or naturally?
Oh, we would train. We would train the put church first. Nothing, nothing comes in front of the church, and this is a lot of reasons why a lot of pastors' children be like, once they get of age, they out the
Yeah.
door. They out the door
You
because
said
the
it.
pastor did not take time with his drive to do, with his drive to be
Right.
successful as a leader and all that. He didn't stop and realize, and this is what Bishop Samuels told me. He said it first got to start at home.
Right.
You got to win the ones at home, because if you don't win them, you ain't really doing an effective job winning somebody else, because whether you realize it or not, these are the people that vouch for the life that you live behind closed doors. And you don't want that being coming. You don't want the inner things that should be kept sacred given out by somebody that live within the four walls of your home. So that right there to suggest that you have to make sure that you are not being, as I've discovered about myself, selfish. Because as a husband and a wife, I should be her concern. She should be concerned about my personal growth and pushing me to get where I need to go. And I should be concerned about hers and
Right.
pushing her where
Dual
she needs to go.
responsibility. Yeah.
Right. But the problem is I'm concerned about my
Me.
personal growth
Yeah.
and my
Absolutely.
success. And
Absolutely.
I'm not being pushed and she's coming with me. I'm actually pulling more further away.
Right.
And then because she's burger at me, I have to stop what I'm doing with an attitude to come help her get her personal growth on. And the reality about it is, because it made me mad, I start focusing in more on what I supposed to been doing and doing this, and we grow further and further apart.
Right.
Marriage is about partnership, me caring for you, me making sure you're good as you care for me. Me and my wife had a conversation. It was some years ago, and I told her those things. I said, I'm your responsibility. We got kids, we got children and all that stuff that we supposed to care for and everything like that. But at the end of the day, this is one thing that I'm realizing: they're gonna leave. And you're gonna want me to be still here so you won't be alone, and vice versa. So me and you got to partner together to make sure that I care for you, that you are there for that day. And you got to care for me, that I'm there for that day. Babe, did you take this? Did you do this? Did you get this done? Or
Right.
did you go to the doctor like I set the appointment? Or vice versa. Me and her we had a little friction because she got mad. I'm gonna tell you what I told her, and I'm just gonna be frank with you.
Along
She
with it.
had gotten sick 2 weeks ago, and
This light is aggravating.
she was like, she wanted to be cared for like she cared for me when I'm
Oh.
sick. And I told her, I said, well, you know what? To be honest with you, it's not gonna happen. And she just said, just like you looking at me, she was looking at me like, I said, it's not gonna happen. And I'm gonna tell you why. One is because I'm not you. Two is because I care and love you as hard as I can, the only way that I can. And that's me coming every now and again, checking. You need something, babe. You do this now. If you want me to sit down there and pat you and rub your head and do all this and go through all that and rub your feet and stuff like that, it's not gonna happen.
That ain't right,
Because
man.
no, the reason why is because at the end of the day, you're a nurturer. I'm not. I would be out of character. I'm going to care for you, but I would be out of character doing that because I don't know how. But as a mother, it's natural for
Okay.
you.
You
You
say you
understand what
don't
I'm
know how.
saying?
But what if she told you step by step how to do it? Would you do it?
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay, then don't say you don't know how to do it. Just say I
Well,
haven't never
I
done it.
mean, I've never done it. That was basically that's where I was going. I don't know how, and it's not going to happen unless you show me, unless you
Right.
tell me.
Right. Exactly.
But then on the other hand, I'm not gonna be a dog on a leash either.
Light is really aggravating me. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, I'm willing. I'm willing to do anything that's in my power to do, if it'll help somebody get better.
Right.
I don't want to walk around and knowing that you're not feeling good and I'm healed. I'm walking around and healing. Because when I was sick, you cared for me. You made sure that I kept the fluids and all that stuff in my body and my system. I would do the same thing. There is never no
Let
question
me
about that.
let me tell you this, because the place that I'm in, you've never been, because you and your wife were still together. So I on the outside looking in the aftermath, whatever you can do it. Even if it's out of your comfort zone, do it, because those are the things that they're going to remember. They're not going to remember the stuff that you always do. They don't care about that. They said you're supposed to do that. But when you go above and beyond and just go out your comfort zone a little bit, it's like, wow, he don't really be doing that. Eric don't ever do that. Dang. Then go and make love then and find out what it's really all about. Because it's and when I say make love, I don't see people.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about as far as the next love, the level of love in a relationship is going to be awesome. Because now she know that whatever she do for you, you'll do for her. Yeah. And even if you don't know how to do it, you're willing to do it. And that means a lot, bro. Because I wasn't willing to do jack. And I ain't do nothing. And now I'm sitting on the outside with my hands ready to rub them feet. My hands, my mind, ready to rub that back. I'm ready to do whatever she asked me to do. Whatever I got to do to get back home, to get back Shira, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. As long as she ain't telling me to turn my back on God, then she going to get kicked to the curb. But anything else outside of that, I'm willing to do, because you look at it, what it was, and you magnify everything in you. I don't care what she did. And you fix what's going on with you. Because when you're done and you're ready, you might not even be ready for her, but you're ready.
Yeah.
Whatever comes. And it might be, her or whatever, but now you're in a place where all right, that ain't gonna work. All right, do that. I don't like doing it, but just do it, bro. Just do it. I'm telling you. In the end, you gonna win. I promise you.
And some things and that's one thing I will not hide. I'm still a work in process in all things. I'm still trying to fix it and be better. And that's one of the areas, because again, like I said, I had to come to the point of discovery of where I was and the things that I realized that I myself, not making her feel that she has to do all this changing for me and all that.
Right.
Not that. Me, when I'm changing for the betterment of me and those that are around me. And that's always been my goal. So even when it comes down to my relationship with her, especially if I want it to last, I have no other choice. You understand? Yeah. I have to come out of a comfort zone. I can't remain there, because I don't want to be a part of statistics.
Right. Because in the comfort zone, she's not in there with you, right?
No, I'm all by myself, comforting myself.
Exactly. And if you stay there, you're gonna be what? All by yourself.
By myself.
You gotta come out of there. You have to. All right. What do you think is the biggest challenge couples face today?
What you said earlier, outside parties.
Okay. What about finance?
Financial situations are easy to deal with when you ain't got a bunch of voices in your head. Because you can think. Huh?
I said, so both that one you just said with that one is not a good thing.
No.
People trying to tell you how to spend your money, ain't living in your house,
and they ain't working
nothing, and they ain't got no job, they ain't doing nothing, ain't got no man, they ain't doing nothing.
Clocking dollars.
Yeah. All right. It's the last question. Dang, we right on time. 50 minutes exactly, man.
No,
We're
that's
talking about
awesome.
what is the best relationship advice you received? Let me tell you mine. The Lord, I got it from the Lord. And he told me, he said, you never stop dating your wife. Never. Never. She don't just become that woman in the bed with you. She don't just be the one that got your last name. You always, for the rest of your life, because that is the woman you chose, continue to keep dating her in the sense of taking her out, valuing her, doing things for her. Because it stops. After you get her to marry you,
Yeah.
you ain't doing what you was doing when you was dating. The dating was the best time. For me, like, we was dating, man, we did everything, man. We had fun. We was what you call that? When you able to do stuff with no money, we were very like just
Free.
spontaneous, man. Spontaneous. We used to have so much fun, and then we get married. See, that's the thing. We forget about the relationship and we grab that word marriage. That got so much pressure to that. It's just another level of relationship.
Yeah.
But we grab it and everything with it. And we looking at the world, we gotta be different now because we married. No, that's when you
Right.
go. We still down, we still sharing. We should have just kept continuing. It should have grown more. It shouldn't have got worse. Like,
Right.
how does that happen? It's because of me. And she can say it's because of me because it's two parties. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna take my responsibility. So he told me, never stop dating your wife. What is the best relationship advice you've ever received?
Well, it was from but the best dating advice I got was from Bishop Noel Jones. And he was talking about, I can't remember the sermon because I used to listen to it so much when I was younger. And the statement he had made is that you never get rid of the giver for the gift, because the gift can't give you the giver, but the giver can give you another gift. What that said to me was, as long as I keep the Most High first and foremost,
Right,
He will give me the wisdoms and the abilities to make sure I maintain that gift.
right,
But what I don't do is take that gift and praise it above the giver,
right,
because that's when we start messing up. So it's learning, and also helped me understand this, learning how to somewhat, in a sense, keep a balance with both relationships, making sure that you have that time with the Most High and making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do as
right.
far as your spouse is concerned. So that, I mean, from Bishop Noel Jones, that's has been with me since I was in my 20s.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know another one? I got another one. And I'm gonna say it. Pop told me she the boss, baby.
I got one from Pop. I got one from Pop. He said to me, he said, if you got to put your hands on her, she's not the one.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow.
A lot of females wasn't the one.
Wow. That's crazy. Well,
You
this
don't need. That's what he said.
we gonna end it on a pop note. I love it.
On the Pop note.
No, thank you for Pastor Andrews again. We got one
Ever.
more episode this week. I need you to take them glasses off and get in Eric mode on Friday. Because we about to clown, we about to act a fool on Friday. I need you to help me with something.
Okay.
Izzy's supposed to eat
A bunch of stuff he was
yeah,
telling me about.
wasabi peas with crushed golden Oreos, onion powder, and salt and vinegar potato chips as a trail mix. So I'm going to send him the money.
Okay.
I need you to help me make sure
He
that he
get it.
gets that junk. Yeah, because I don't know. Your wife is the Wasabi Peas master, so she might be able to tell you where y'all can get it at up there. Probably
Yeah, they got it
Walmart.
at Aldi's.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need him to have all that.
Okay.
And the freestyle battle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pick your own beat. Now,
Okay.
if you don't got no beats, I can send you some. Unless you
Okay.
got,
Send me some.
I'll
Send me
send you
some.
some beats. It's gonna be fun, bro. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna wrap it up. Well, we had a lot to say. I hope that you have enjoyed, my brother. I
Yeah.
hope you have enjoyed this week so far, because we got something to say and we said it. So I'm out. Be blessed. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
I ain't got no music today. You'll hear it on when we edit it. I got something to say. I'm out. Peace.
Well, I got something to say.